Comfort is a silent killer of dreams. Think about that for a second. It's not the dramatic failures or the huge obstacles that usually stop us. It's the slow, creeping, comfortable routine that quietly smothers our ambitions. It's the warm blanket of predictability that feels so safe, but in reality, it's a cage. Comfort reduces urgency. It whispers in your ear, "Why bother? Everything is fine right now. You can do it tomorrow." And tomorrow becomes next week, next month, and eventually, never. Remember the start of the year? That incredible surge of energy in January and February. Gyms are packed, new planners are filled out, and everyone is buzzing with the promise of a new year. We are fired up, ready to conquer our goals. But what happens by March or April? That fire dwindles to a flicker. The gym gets quieter, the planner gathers dust, and we find ourselves right back where we started. Why? Because we sink back into our comfortable routines. The old habits, the familiar patterns, the path of least resistance, it all pulls us back in. The initial discomfort of change is replaced by the soothing lull of the familiar. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine Sarah. Sarah has a good job. It's stable, the people are nice enough, and the paycheck hits her bank account like clockwork every 2 weeks. It pays the bills, funds her weekend brunches, and allows for a decent vacation once a year. On the surface, everything is fine. But deep down, Sarah has a dream. She wants to start her own graphic design business. She spends her evenings scrolling through beautiful portfolios, sketching logos, and imagining a life where she is her own boss, creating work she is truly passionate about. But then, Monday morning comes. The alarm goes off. The thought of quitting her stable job, giving up that guaranteed income, and stepping into the vast, scary unknown is terrifying. Her mind floods with what ifs. What if she can't find clients? What if she fails? What if she ends up with nothing? The comfort of her current life, the predictability of her 9 to 5, becomes a golden cage. The steady paycheck is the lock on the door. She tells herself, "I'll save up a bit more," or "I'll start when the market is better." But these are just excuses, fueled by the fear of leaving her comfort zone. Sarah is trapped, not by a bad situation, but by a good enough one. And that is the most dangerous trap of all. So, what's actually happening in our brains when we choose comfort over our dreams? This isn't just a lack of willpower. There's real science behind it. Psychologists call it the comfort zone. It's a mental state where things feel familiar and easy. We feel in control, and we experience low levels of anxiety and stress. Our brain, from an evolutionary standpoint, is hardwired to seek this state. For our ancestors, the unknown often meant danger, a predator lurking in the shadows, an unfamiliar plant that could be poisonous. Predictability meant survival. So, our brains developed a powerful bias towards safety and the familiar. It's a primal instinct. This instinct is governed by a biological principle called homeostasis. Think of it like a thermostat for your body and mind. If your body gets too hot, you sweat to cool down. If it gets too cold, you shiver to warm up. Your body is constantly working to maintain a stable, balanced internal environment. This same principle applies to our psychological state. When we face a new challenge, when we think about quitting that job or starting that new project, our brain perceives it as a disruption to our equilibrium. It triggers an alarm. Fear, anxiety, self-doubt, these are the psychological versions of sweating or shivering. They are your brain's attempt to push you back into your comfort zone, back to that stable, predictable state where it knows you are safe. Now, this survival mechanism was incredibly useful for navigating the dangers of the ancient world. But here's the problem. In the modern world, this same drive for homeostasis can sabotage our growth. The dangers we face today are usually not life-threatening predators. They are the fear of public speaking, the risk of a business failing, the awkwardness of meeting new people. Our brain, however, still reacts with that same primal fear. It can't tell the difference between the fear of being rejected and the fear of being eaten by a tiger. So, it urges us to retreat, to play it safe, to stay in the job we don't love, to avoid the conversation we need to have, to put off learning the skill we want to master. In a world that demands constant learning, adaptation, and innovation, our biological craving for comfort becomes our biggest enemy. It keeps us from evolving, from reaching our full potential, and from living a life of purpose and excitement. Staying in our comfort zone doesn't just mean we stop growing, it means we start stagnating. So how do we fight back against millions of years of evolution? How do we break free from this comfortable cage? It's not about making a giant, terrifying leap all at once. It's about systematically and intentionally pushing the boundaries of your comfort zone, one small step at a time. The first strategy is to embrace deliberate discomfort. I want you to think of your comfort zone like a muscle. If you never challenge it, it stays small and weak. But if you consistently push it, it expands. So, start small. Instead of tackling your biggest fear tomorrow, pick a tiny, manageable challenge. If you're shy, don't force yourself to give a TED Talk. Instead, make it a goal to start one small conversation with a cashier or a barista. If you feel stuck in a routine, don't quit your job and move across the country. Instead, take a different route to work. Listen to a genre of music you normally hate. Try a new recipe for dinner. These small acts of deliberate discomfort teach your brain that the unknown isn't always dangerous. They build your courage muscle and prove to you that you can handle uncertainty. Over time, these small steps accumulate, and what once seemed terrifying will start to feel manageable. The second strategy is to completely redefine your relationship with failure. Most of us are terrified of failing. We see it as an endpoint, a verdict on our abilities. In a comfort-seeking world, failure is the ultimate threat. But what if we saw failure not as the opposite of success, but as a part of it? Every successful person you admire has a long list of failures they had to overcome. Failure is data. It's feedback. It's a lesson on what doesn't work, bringing you one step closer to what does. When you try something and it doesn't go as planned, you haven't failed, you've learned. You've run an experiment and gathered valuable information. So, reframe it. The next time you're afraid to try something because you might fail, tell yourself you're not trying to succeed, you're trying to learn. This mental shift takes the pressure off. It gives you permission to be imperfect, to experiment, and to grow. Failure is not the fall, it's the refusal to get back up. Finally, the third strategy is to set progress-oriented goals, not just outcome-oriented goals. An outcome goal is something like I want to lose 20 pounds or I want to launch my business. These are great, but focusing only on the distant finish line can be discouraging, especially when progress is slow. A progress-oriented goal, on the other hand, focuses on the system and the actions you take every day. Instead of lose 20 pounds, your goal becomes exercise for 30 minutes, 3 times a week, and eat 5 servings of vegetables a day. Instead of launch my business, it is spend 1 hour every evening working on my business plan or reach out to 3 potential clients this week. Do you see the difference? You have complete control over the process goals. You can achieve them every single day, regardless of the ultimate outcome. This creates a feedback loop of success. Each time you complete your daily action, you get a small win, which builds momentum and motivation. It shifts your focus from a daunting, far-off destination to the manageable, empowering journey. And ironically, when you fall in love with the process, the outcome takes care of itself. We've talked about how comfort can be a trap, the science that keeps us stuck, and the practical strategies to break free. The message is simple, but it's not easy. True growth, true excitement, and true fulfillment are waiting for you, but they are not found in the warm, cozy center of your comfort zone. They are found just on the other side of fear. They live in the challenge, in the effort, in the moments where you feel uncertain but you push forward anyway. Every time you choose the comfortable, easy path, you are voting for stagnation. Every time you take a small step into the unknown, you are voting for progress. You are choosing to become a better, stronger, more capable version of yourself. So here is my challenge to you. Right now, think of one goal you've been putting off because it feels scary or uncomfortable. Just one. I'm not asking you to conquer it today. I'm just asking you to take one small, uncomfortable step towards it. Just one. Send that email you've been dreading. Sign up for that class. Go for that run, even if it's just for 5 minutes. Make that phone call. Your future self is begging you. Choose progress over comfort. Choose growth over stagnation. Choose the life you dream of over the one that is merely fine. Take that one small step today. Thank you so much for watching. If this message resonated with you, hit that subscribe button and let's continue to grow together.